Bruce, come on, it's time to work. Excuse me, Toby, I am working. No, you're not, you're drinking again. Come on. I'm researching for my video on part 3 of the C1 Advanced Reading and Use of English paper. Actually. Yeah? Yeah, the third formation. You mean the word formation? Yes, that one. For part 3 of the C1 Advanced Reading and Use of English paper, you will be given a short text with 8 words missing. Next to each part of the text with a missing word will be another word in capitalized, bold letters. It is your job to change this capitalized word in bold letters to a related word that could fit in the space. Oh yeah, and you must change the word. You can't just leave the word as it is. No. And lastly, your spelling must be perfect. If there is a tiny mistake, then, well, you've lost a mark. Well done. Right, I have prepared the text. It's in my head and my mind and my brain. Can I read it? No, not yet. Wait a second. Before we begin, let us focus on strategy. The first thing you need to do is read the entire text. Then, for the first question, identify the form of the word you have been given in bold, capitalized letters. Then, take a look at your space. What type of word do you need? Do you need a noun? And if so, is it plural or singular? Do you need an adjective? Do you need a verb? Do you need an adverb? And finally, once you have decided all of this, you need to think about the meaning. Does the word that you have created fit with the sense of the sentence and the text in general? And this is where some students make a big mistake, because they identify what type of word they need. They correctly form a word that is grammatically possible in the space. However, because they have not read the text properly, they make a mistake with the meaning. And if you make a mistake with the meaning, then your answer is going to be wrong. And if your answer is going to be wrong, then you're one step closer to failing your exam. In fact, the Cambridge Handbook explicitly states candidates may be required to demonstrate understanding of the text beyond sentence level. Let me give you an example of this in practice. Here's made the night before Christmas unbearable. Try as he might, he just couldn't fall asleep. Our word in bold is patient. Now, a student may understand that patient is an adjective. Good. Then, a student may understand that we need a noun. Good. And the student may identify correctly that the noun of patient is patience. Voila! But then we have a big problem, because this student has only focused on form, and patience doesn't make sense in the context of this sentence. Instead, the answer that we needed was impatience. Basically, make sure that you focus on form and meaning. So, read the bloody text, alright? Good. Okay, Toby, here we go. The text is called The History of a Beer. The history of a beer. Yes, Toby, the history of a beer. All right then. Okay, this Peroni was made in Italy, and I am it. The word in bold is drink. So, tricky one. The answer is drinking. Oh my gosh, Bruce, that was a great example. Nope, shut up. Right, I'll do this. You're an idiot.
The history of beer. Beer is one of humanity's oldest beverages. Its story begins over 6,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians brewed beer from barley as early as 4000 BCE. They even had a goddess of beer, Ninkasi. The Egyptians later the craft, producing beer for daily wages and religious ceremonies. During the Middle Ages, European monasteries became centres of brewing. Monks introduced hops in the 9th century, which added and helped preserve the drink. By the 15th century, hopped beer had become across Europe. The technological of the Industrial Revolution transformed beer forever. Like the steam engine, refrigeration, and pasteurization, the production and distribution of the beverage. In the 20th century, mass-produced lagers dominated, but the late 20th and early 21st centuries witnessed a craft beer revolution, reviving traditional styles and creativity. Today, beer remains a universal social drink, connecting ancient rituals to modern culture.
Oh my diddy donuts, how have you managed to make beer boring? What's wrong with ya?
What type of word is perfect? Well, it could be an adjective, perfect, or it could be a verb, to perfect. The spelling is the same, but the pronunciation is different. And what type of word do we need in our space? Well, we have our subject, the Egyptians, followed by an adverb, later, then we have our space, and then our object, the craft. So, in this sentence, what are we missing? Well, we're missing a verb. But of course, the paragraph in this text is referring to the past, so our verb needs to be in the past simple. And this gives us perfected. This was actually really easy. The problem is, some students don't realise that perfect can be an adjective, perfect, and a verb, to perfect. So, now you know. Our answer, perfected. Oof.
The Egyptians later, the craft, producing beer for daily wages and religious ceremonies.
What type of word is consume? Well, it's a verb. And what type of word do we need? Well, our gap is part of a list. Wages and religious ceremonies. So I think then that we need a noun. We also have the preposition for, and because for is a preposition, we always need an object after it. So yeah, for sure, we need a noun. Oh, and we have the adjective daily. So noun, we have consumer, the person that consumes, and consumption, the process of consuming.
Well, okay, let me use some logic here. I am a daily consumer of beer, so maybe the ancient Egyptians were producing beer for people like me. So I'm going to go with consumers.
Oh right, yeah, so the ancient Egyptians were producing beer for alcoholics, wages and religious ceremonies. Yeah, definitely, Bruce.
They might have been. They had a goddess of beer, Toby. Huh?
The answer is consumption. Consumption.
During the Middle Ages, European monasteries became centres of brewing.
So, what type of word is excellent? It's an adjective. What type of word do we need? Well, we have the preposition of, and after a preposition, we always need an object. So this suggests that we need a noun. The question then is, what is the noun of excellent? Excellence. Excellence. And that was excellent.
Monks introduced hops in the 9th century, which added and helped preserve the drink.
The next one is also easy. What type of word is bitter? It's an adjective. What type of word do we need? Well, added is a transitive verb, and that means that it requires an object. So, we need an object for the verb added. So, what is the noun of bitter? Bitterness. 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 Yes.
Do you know what?
What?
I might become a monk. Because it sounds like they live a really hoppy life. Do you get it? Because it's like hoppy, happy. It's a joke with the words. Oh my gosh, hoppy, happy. Oh, Bruce, you are so funny.
By the 15th century, hopped beer had become across Europe.
This one is slightly more difficult because some students could decide to simply write spread. But remember that that is definitely wrong because you must change the word. You can never leave it the same. You could say by the 15th century, hopped beer had spread across Europe. This would be grammatically correct. But in this text we have the word become. And You can't become a verb. Spread is a verb, unless you're talking about a spread, like Nutella, or jam, or Marmite. These are spreads because you spread them on bread. So it says spread for the bread. Yeah, no, here we need an adjective. So, what is the adjective that comes from spread? Well, there are a few. We could say spreadable, but this describes a spread that is easy to spread. Like, I don't know, room temperature butter, or Nutella, or jam, or cream cheese, because it's easy to spread, so it's spreadable. Yeah. Another possible adjective is outspread. You could have outspread arms, like this.
Oh, okay, Toby.
No, get away from me, ugh.
Sorry.
Or a bird could have outspread wings. But again, this makes no sense here. The adjective that we need is widespread. If something is widespread, it means it exists in lots of different places. Advertisements in today's society are everywhere. They are widespread.
All right, I'll hug you, Duke. Okay. Hang on a second. Actually, Bruce, I think I'm okay.
Let's move on.
The technological of the Industrial Revolution transformed beer forever.
What type of word is break? It's a verb. And what type of word do we need? Well, technological is an adjective and it is describing the subject of our sentence. So, I think that we need a noun. Now, let us use the meaning of the text to try and understand the meaning of this mystery noun. The transformation being discussed here is technological progress, relating to things like the steam train and pasteurization. So we need a noun that refers to progress that comes from the word break. Any ideas? Bruce!
Oh, for goodness sake, there's been a breakage. Oh, I'll clean it up.
No, not with your hands. But no, the noun that we need isn't breakage, it's breakthrough. A breakthrough is a sudden moment of progress. However, we still have a problem because breakthrough is a countable noun. And here it is the subject of our sentence and we are talking about breakthroughs in general. This means it needs to be plural. Breakthroughs. That's our answer.
Like the steam engine, refrigeration and pasteurization, the production and distribution of the beverage.
This question is similar. We already know that we need a noun because it's the subject of our sentence. Innovate is a verb, and the noun of innovate is innovation. But again, because we are referring to this noun generally, and it's the subject of our sentence, it needs to be plural, which gives us innovations.
Like the steam engine, refrigeration and pasteurization, the production and distribution of the beverage.
Facility is a noun, and we need a verb. We know this because we have our subject, and we have our objects, the production and distribution of the beverage. So, what is the only verb that is connected to facility? Because, yeah, there is only one. To facilitate. And this verb means to make something easier. For example, a teacher facilitates learning in the classroom. A meeting can facilitate understanding between colleagues. A wheelchair ramp can facilitate access for disabled people. But of course, the Industrial Revolution happened hundreds of years ago, so our verb needs to be in the past, which gives us facilitated.
Like the steam engine, refrigeration and pasteurization, the production and distribution of the beverage.
And finally, what type of word is globe? It's a noun. And what type of word do we need? Well, we need an adverb that modifies the phrase facilitated the production and distribution. The question is, how do we make an adverb from our noun global. Well, making adverbs in general is quite easy. We need to make an adjective first. So, what is the adjective of globe? It is global. And now all we need to do is add ly, which gives us globally. Ooh. I think we're all done. We did it. Yes, we did it.
And here it is. Here is the complete text. So, how did you do?
Well, Mr. Toby, I think that video went pretty well, if I say so myself.
You vomited.
Yes, I did. Just a normal day.
There's glass all over the floor.
Yes. And I cut my hand.
Yeah, no one cares about that, Duke.
Ow.
And with that, we are finished. That was a word formation to help you pass part 3 of your C1 Advanced Reading and Use of English paper. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. My name is Toby, and this was Smash English.